Welcome back to Barrels and Bark. I'm Zach. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today we have a special episode. We're talking about what 3 whiskeys should you bring on your next vacation. So every time we head out for vacation, there's always a few things I want to do when I leave for vacation. 1, bring something with me to enjoy while on vacation. And number 2, what can I find wherever I'm at? And so my family and I are leaving for a vacation, a beach vacation, and I want to share with you 3 whiskeys, and actually probably one extra one, that I'm going to bring that I think are great bottles to bring when you head out to a beach or a warm or enjoyable, relaxing vacation. First and foremost, the thing that I enjoy the best when I take a whiskey with me is a whiskey that is easy to drink, okay? One that I can crack open, I can sip. It's not too strong, it's not too heavy, it's not too oily, it's not too dark, also not too light, but something that's kind of that nice flavor, but not something that I have to really spend a whole lot of time picking apart and digesting, if that makes sense. And so the first whiskey that I want to share with you that I think is a must to bring is the Midar's Small Batch American Whiskey. This bottle I think is a must to bring. If you've never had this, go out and get it. It's a great affordable bottle. Should be almost anywhere you can find whiskey. This should be there. I know Midar makes a lot of other ones that are a lot more popular and obviously more sought after. And this is an American whiskey, as far as I can know, is that this isn't a bourbon. This has been aged back in bourbon barrels, used ones again. That's what gives it an American whiskey. Again, I know it's only 83 proof, so for those who like the higher proof, this might not hit it. But I think for one that's easy to enjoy and sip, I think this is a bottle that is great to have. I can't wait to drink this on vacation. I've gone through a couple of these. This is what I have in my glass here. And if I give you a few little notes, right off the bat, you get just that traditional kind of sweetness, that corn sweetness, the brown sugar, a little bit of caramel, and just a great smell. It's not a super strong, obviously, with only being 83 proof, it doesn't pack a whole lot of punch, but has a great nose on it. It's subtle. Great color actually for this. It's fairly decent color, darkness, great legs, great oil in it. Let's go in for a sip. I love this sip. The first sip of this is, it coats really well. For 83 proof, this thing coats fairly decently, but you just get an overwhelming sweet corn, almost like that cream cornbread with caramel or honey added into that. Just nice, consistent flavor, just roll across your tongue with a hint of that oak and spice, a little bit on the back end there, nothing that's super strong. That is a must to buy, especially if you're heading on vacation. Give this bottle a try. That's my first pick. Number 2, the second bottle that you should bring on your next vacation, especially if it's somewhere hot, warm, beach, is obviously pick Barrel Seagrass. This is a rye. It's been out for a number of years. Everyone is familiar with it. Probably very easy to find now. It's been finished in rum casks, brandy barrels, rye whiskey. This thing, I think, if it doesn't speak tropical beach, I don't know what else does. This is one that just brings you back, takes you to the beach, takes you to the sand and the ocean. I mean, right off the bat, you just get that nice rye, but you get that rum, the brandy, the sweetness, the kind of, I almost get some of that pineapple-y, apricot smell. I mean, the fruit explosion out of this is like a cocktail in a cup, just exploding with the rum, the brandy, the fruitiness, the spice. Man, this is a bottle that is one of those great beach sippers that I can't highly recommend more. All right, number 3. This is a pick that is a newer bottle to me that I've tried. Tried it at a friend's house, sampled it, loved it. Thought, man, this would be a bottle that should be, I would almost recommend to any beginner bourbon drinker that you can get your hands on, because it's kind of a great bottle to kind of blend rye and bourbon together. And my pick for the third one is this Redwood Empire Lost Monarch. This is a blend of straight whiskeys, of bourbon and rye blended together. This obviously, I don't know how hard this is to find in your area. I think it's fairly readily available everywhere. Redwood Empire is actually killing it these days. They're producing so many great bottles. I have the new cast strength one. In this glass here, I have a sample, and I just think it would be an amazing beach vacation bottle. It's going for a nose here. You get subtle, it's not super strong, but you get that nice subtle hint of honey, fruit, floral, oak. There's a subtle sweetness. It's almost like a honey sweetness from this. Again, 90 proof. Again, not super strong. It's not super dark. But man, you get that rye. It comes through a little bit here. Let's go in for a sip. Another bottle that is just a sweet fruit explosion when you drink out of it. It kind of gives me some of the vibes of the Four Roses, where I get a lot of like fruity, bright red, ripe fruits. This has that similar, but a lot sweeter. This is super, super sweet. That's why I think anybody who is fairly new to bourbons or ryes, this is a great one to jump into because it's a blend of the two, and you get a lot of sweetness without a lot of punch of alcohol, but you get a lot of that corn, which probably is because it's fairly young still. Sweetness, caramely sweetness. You get just that great fruit flavor, almost like a fruit punch, if that makes sense. So sweet. And I love the rye that comes on the back end. You get all that bourbon sweetness, that corn. I'm getting some almost like Apple Jacks cereal flavoring up front there. Just that nice appley caramel sweetness, and then it rolls into that nice rye spice that kind of finishes. But it's not a rye where it just is overly. Sometimes with rye, I get kind of that dill, spearminty. This is a nice subtle rye that just floats really well with that bourbon. Man, great bottle. I think this would be one that you should add to your list. Try it out, give it a sip. This thing you could drink all day long and would enjoy this bottle. All right, I couldn't leave you with one bonus bottle that I think is one of the lines of bottles that I am enjoying these days. It's probably one of my first bourbons that I got into drinking, but I find it to be a bottle that is a must-go all the time. I always gravitate towards grabbing this bottle, and it's Four Roses Single Barrel. I go through these all the time, and I just think the Four Roses makes just an amazing sippable drink that you can enjoy. It's 100 proof, easy to drink, great flavor, great age, just one of those bottles that I just think you gotta take with you on vacation and enjoy. So those are my 3+1 bottles to enjoy on vacation. Hopefully you find these ones that maybe you can go out and add to your collection, or maybe you can agree. If you've had one of these, what do you think of them? Or if there's a different one that you think is a better version, or one that you would take on vacation, please throw that in the comments. And thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you again.